Welcome to the Horror Hangout, a podcast where two bearded film fans watch the best and worst horror movies of all time and then talk about them. My name is General Zod Condor, and I'm joined by Mr.
Superman himself,
Mr. Ben,
son of Krypton, sworn enemy of General Zod. You twat.
Yeah, man, how are you? You alright? We're both wearing caps today.
We are both wearing caps. It'd be good if we were wearing Horror Hangout themed caps. I feel like that would be
yeah, we should do that.
Maybe that's the next step.
Have you also got a hot water bottle?
No, I haven't. I've got a hot coffee in a Chewbacca mug.
That's pretty much the same.
Which is nice. I'm not very good at the Chewbacca noise though. How about you?
No.
I'm feeling a bit throaty and a bit tight chested, so I don't think I could do it anyway.
Yeah.
That was a noble effort though.
It wasn't. On my part, it wasn't. Yours is better. I've got some beer, some Christmas beer left over, so I'm drinking some.
That's a good idea.
Oxford Gold.
Oh, lovely. Is that an ale?
It is. It's a zesty. I don't know what it is. Craft brewed with a zesty aroma and a fruity flavour. It's a blonde ale, I think.
Crafty.
Blonde ale. Is that a truth? Is that the right thing to say?
Yeah.
It's got notes of beer and.
It's got
blonde.
notes of beer and alcohol and
toast, biscuit.
Hops.
It's got a biscuit taste. But yeah, sorry, man. What about you? What you been doing? What you said?
Just enjoying Christmas and the New Year. I can't remember what we said on the last episode. But I think we said we were going to review one thing or another. I think we even said we were going to do an episode before Christmas and maybe an episode before the New Year was out.
I think people who listen to this show have learned not to trust when we're going to put episodes out.
Yeah, I think basically take anything we say in the last couple of minutes of the show just with a pinch of salt or just ignore it completely.
Yeah.
We've been very casual.
New Year's resolution then. We should not lie to the audience.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Don't lie to the audience is a good New Year's resolution. I think we've lacked since we finished the list, we've lacked a little bit of direction, but I think we've got back on track now and worked out what we're going to do.
Yeah, we know what we're going to do. We're going to do a different list. It's the IGN's top 100 horror movies of all time. But I think we're just going to gloss over the ones that we kind of already covered in the.
It would be weird to cover the same films again, wouldn't it?
Yeah, there might be one you might want to do. Like because by the time we get around to the top 20, that would be like 2 years away.
So I think like all of a majority of the top 20 is stuff we've already seen. So yeah.
But there's some interesting choices in there. Like there's a few that I kind of thought should have been in a top list that we're missing from the other one. So it's good to do this as well.
And a few films that, like in terms of genre, you wouldn't necessarily say was horror. But
the one we're doing next week, The Cell, is that horror? It's from the year 2000, which is way longer ago than I thought it would be. And is it horror? I can't really remember.
I've definitely seen it, but I don't remember much about it other than J-Lo's in it.
Yeah, that's all I remember as well. It's the important part of it.
Jake on the block.
So, have you done any other horror bits that you want to talk about?
I don't know if I have done anything else. I did watch The House That Jack Built, which I don't know. I can't remember if I discussed that on.
I don't think so.
I think so I've seen that now. Lars von Trier, serial killer with Matt Dillon. I was going to say Matt Damon when I say Matt Dillon. Matt Dillon is pretty brutal.
Yeah, I've heard that. He got booed off at Cannes, right?
Well, allegedly, yeah. I mean, there are some pretty horrible, brutal bits, but at the same time, it's a bit of a. It does take itself quite seriously, but I still enjoyed it, and there's like the ending is great as well.
Okay.
It's a very nice looking film as well. It's very dingy for the most part, but there are some very good cinematography choices, and it's just and Matt Dillon is pretty sinister. And you get to see some gruesome shit. It's quite like darkly comic as well, I found.
I've heard that. It's like a black comedy. A very black comedy,
Yeah. It was a bit like, what? This is weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it, and I think it probably... I don't know if it would have got into my top 5 horrors as such of the year, but I think it would have been... It would have been in and about there. I did a list of my top 25 films of the year, like everything, pretty much.
What was your number one again?
So I put Black Klansman as my number one.
That's the one, yeah.
Just because that was the one that kind of stuck with me the most afterwards, and the one that I kind of chatted about the most. It's a really good film, and and I've never really been the biggest fan of Spike Lee, but
Yeah,
I found
I've never
it.
really delved into him too much.
But it was like funny and I just really enjoyed it. But yeah, my top few included like Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody. I think was up there just because.
And one film that I think would have been up there if I had a chance to watch it was Sorry to Bother You. It just seems like it would have been my kind of film.
I've got that in the top in the top 25, number 18. Yeah. And then I put Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse pretty high because that was pretty spectacular.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, man.
But the highest horror film I put in there was Hereditary at number 3. So.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite films. I'm gonna get it on Blu-ray. I think that's one for Blu-ray. I
think it'd be lovely to watch Blu-ray. What about you? Any other?
Couple of games. So Soma was the PlayStation Plus free game last month.
Yeah.
Do you know much about Soma? It's made by the guys who made Amnesia.
I've seen like a trailer and I downloaded it when it was on PlayStation Plus.
So it's the same. It's a similar sort of gameplay idea to like Resident Evil 7 and Amnesia and Outlast, where it's basically kind of there's a run and hide element to it, and it's all first person view, and it's got a lot of puzzles and a bit of a walking simulator. So you're walking around this sort of these levels for a lot of the game, but it's got by far the best story out of any of those games. Like it's such a killer, cool sci-fi horror idea that's executed like note perfectly, and the ending. So I just sort of brief you into it. So you start in the modern day in Canada, and it's a guy who had some sort of car accident at some point, and he's always dreaming that his head's bleeding. And then he goes to have a brain scan, for some experimental new type of brain scan, and then after the scan, he's suddenly in some deep underground undersea laboratory in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Doesn't know how he got there, and it looks like it's all kind of futuristic, but it looks like it's been aged and left to rot and mildew over like thousands of years or whatever. And he's sort of walking around this place. He starts to stumble across partially built robots that think they're human, and they have no idea that they're not human. And the way they interact with you, and you have to do some deep philosophical questions of stuff that you have to do to these robots to progress through the game, and you sort of have to ask yourself, are they alive? Are they really like alive or not? And then there's a couple of twists throughout the game that were just, I don't know, man. It's just a great, like, by the end of it, I remember sitting there thinking that was it wasn't jump scary at all, but it was the atmosphere was there all the way through. And the horror of the the Lovecraftian suggested horror, I guess, is like so perfect that it's one of my favourite games in a story in a long time. Really good. Cool. Yeah.
I will have to give it a go. I've got it lined up, ready to go. Yeah. I've been Red Dead Redemption in for the last sort of like week or so. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
And on New Year's Eve the other day, my friend Dieter brought around his VR headset, and we played a bit of Resident Evil 7 through the VR, and the level of detail in the levels of that is so. We were just staring at maggots on these plates, thinking that's insane.
And then you play the game.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's really immersive. But yeah.
So I would like to go back and play it. Obviously we got Resident Evil 2 coming out in a couple of weeks as well. So
yeah. Well, look forward to it.
3 weeks or so.
Are you going to get it on launch?
I think I will. Yeah, I think I've not been one for getting games on launch recently, but I think it holds such a special place in my heart. I feel like I need to get it and play it before everyone's everyone will be talking about it, and I'll be a bit like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, I think the other thing we were going to talk about is the new Black Mirror episode, the multiple choice meta narrative one, Bandersnatch.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I know the film. It struck me as. I mean, there might be minor spoilers talking about this. I guess.
Yeah.
We won't go into great detail, but I know that. By the end of it, I realised that it was kind of there to give you like the illusion of choice. It was kind of putting you in the same position as the protagonist, where it's giving them the illusion of choice when in fact they're being controlled by something else. Ironically, the viewer. Ironically, Netflix. But at the same time, I kind of felt like some bits of it felt unavoidable, and there are other bits that I wanted to sort of know a bit more about that I couldn't get myself like around to. I kept like making choices to try and get a certain answer, but I kept finding myself having to do the same thing, the thing that I didn't necessarily want to do. Which I know is kind of the point, but at the same time, it kind of disappointed me as to what I expected from it.
Okay, I figure out what you mean. Because it's halfway on the way to being a game, and I think at that point I'd rather just play a game because I feel like you get more agency.
Well, it's getting spoken about as being such a sort of unique and mold breaking thing, but it's like it's been around for so long in all
university, which was 10 years ago. I did an interactive film as my course. It's like it's the same thing. You had choices. Yeah. Like the exact same thing. It wasn't as good, obviously, but
well, yeah. So, for example, part of me kind of just felt I wanted to just watch that as an episode, without any interaction, and just seeing where it went and seeing, because when the Black Mirror writers are in control of it, that there's going to be some epic ending or interesting twist or something like that. I feel like it kind of just fizzled out.
Yeah, so I had the same thing. So because you don't have like someone guiding you on the narrative up and down of a proper story arc, I kept end up in these like cul-de-sacs of story and thinking, it just feels like it sort of sucked all the energy out of the actual story now. But
it feels like you get a bad ending. It feels like, like in games sometimes when you don't save certain characters, you get a bad ending where it goes, the game's ended, but you kind of did a bit shit, so that's it.
I saved Mel when I wanted to save Articon. The wrong one. But it's good. There was a couple of moments. I really liked the scene where they're taking the drugs and like all the visuals and the guy's eyes.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Dripping out for some reason.
Especially with Will Poulter.
He was great. Like really,
he was great, but his voice, but also the stuff he was saying. You're like, the guy. There's always that guy who ruins the high by talking about like government conspiracies and all this shit. But yeah, that bit was great. I mean, visually it was awesome. I think like the lead actor was good because you kind of saw his deterioration mentally and sort of represented physically as time went on, with him being like all sweaty and just like his eyes sort of being a bit vacant.
Yeah, they did quite well because like when you played like the second time through, it felt like they were carrying on certain elements. So he seemed to be just as nervous or like worse each time you played it, and then like certain characters would remember like the last time you played it and they'd mention it. It's good.
I mean, it was good. It just wasn't great for me. I mean, I think I've definitely been more blown away by other Black Mirror episodes rather than this. So whether they're going to do this again or they're going to eventually bring out a series which is interactive, who knows? But
I'd rather just do normal Black Mirror episodes. So you're saying less Bandersnatch, more Bandertwat. That's what you're saying.
Bandertwat. Yeah, I guess so, because there were certain things that happened, and I won't explain exactly what, but there were certain things where I was like, I really wanted to avoid doing them, but it just felt like it kept looping around and making me do it, and I get that was probably the point. I understand that.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't take away the fact that I was a bit disappointed by the whole process.
Yeah.
And the whole experience, and also like watching something and not knowing when it's going to end is a bit of a weird feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird because we were supposed to go out, and I thought we'll just have a quick go on this. I'm sure it would be like half an hour long or something. I think it was 3 hours later. I was like finishing up.
Yeah, I think we put it on pretty late, so it was a bit like, I'll just watch this before we go to sleep, and then it kind of just like went on forever. It's like, should we stop now and just go to sleep? Let's just keep going. One of those.
Yeah, Bandit like Beckham.
Bandit like Beckham.
So
exactly. Did you get to the David Beckham scene? Of course you did.
Yeah, of course I did. Yeah,
that's the best one. And I guess the only other thing I wanted to discuss, I know you haven't seen it, but I thought I'd just mention it, is the trailer for the new Jordan Peele thriller/horror Us.
I've heard it's a fantastic trailer. I've just decided not to watch because I'm so confident that it's going to be great.
Yeah. So you don't know anything about like the subject matter of?
I know it's got. Yeah, I do. To be fair, I know it's got Lupita Nyong'o. Is that how you say her name? In it?
Yeah.
And I know it's about like a family being attacked by doppelgangers.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. But like the trailer is cut in such a way, like it's got to be one of the best horror trailers ever, because it's just one of those things where it's just like a completely different vibe for the first like a minute, and like there's a version of the song "I Got Five" on it, which is a bit creepy anyway. I've always found that a bit creepy, like dun dun, like the sort of chord progression is a bit creepy anyway. But it's like a horror remix of that, and it's just perfect. I feel like I've watched it like 3 times. I feel like goosebumps each time. So I think that goes to show.
I hope the film lives up to it then.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think now I've seen that, if there is another trailer, perhaps I won't watch it.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure when it's even out actually.
I want to say April, but I might be making that up. I've not even seen the trailer, so how would I know?
How would you know?
No, exactly.
You have just been making it up. We'll find out there. I'll find out. Sorry. It is March 15th.
Okay, sounds about right.
So not
there. Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty much
it. Yeah. So we're doing. Today we're going to talk about Bird Box, but
yes.
So there's like a whole thing now of like sensory deprivation horror. We had A Quiet Place, Bird Box. There's a film coming out called The Silence at some point. I thought I'd come up with some of my own. I've got Stop Hammer Time, which is where the creatures can't see you unless you're completely still, or dancing. I've got
so they can't see you unless you're completely still,
or dancing,
or dancing.
So the one if completely still, that's a T-Rex, but if you're dancing, then you can moonwalk away.
Can you be doing like really slow dancing?
I don't know. I've not worked out the finer details.
Pretty good though. I like it. It's a good.
Got no shoes allowed when it's like the same, but they attack squeaky sneakers. Don't touch. I just wanted to do a thing about the T virus, but it's like the touch virus, so people get handsy. Sour grapes, which is you can't taste anything sour, because if you taste anything sour, you get piles. The last one I just had a name and a tagline. It's called Guff, and the tagline is silent but deadly, but that's but with 2 T's.
Silent but deadly. But with 2 T's. I like it. Also, like in A Quiet Place, what happened if people did need to guff?
This is the sequel.
This is the sequel. Just everyone ate beans.
Yeah.
And also in A Quiet Place, there's loads of stuff that's like built around there where they live in.
Yeah.
Like strings of lights up. I was like, how they done that without whacking in a hammer?
No silent.
Whacking in a nail. I'm sure we discussed that in the episode of A Quiet Place. But
hammer. Yeah, but I mean, so Bird Box. Okay, so Bird Box was originally written by Josh Malerman, novel. I've read the novel and really enjoyed it. And seeing this now has made me think I really need to be careful about what I do first with these things. Am I going to watch the thing or read the book? Because it always colours the other thing, and I just want to make sure I'm maximising my entertainment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I've not read the book.
You've seen it though.
But I've seen the book. Yeah. I've had a look at the cover and I've gone, that looks alright, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was another one of those which I kind of was on the peripherals of my sort of something I probably would want to read. I don't know if I will now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So see, I think you might miss out. Even if people did read the book now, I think they wouldn't quite enjoy it as much as they would have done.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting about this as well is that like it's kind of become very popular. Like apparently it's like the most streamed horror or most streamed film like over the course of however many days. The most popular Netflix horror. It's spawned like memes and just like loads of internet content, which is just really.
Me and Kat have been talking like about it randomly. Like when we're walking the dog and we see some leaves blow around.
Yeah,
we joke we're going to get bird boxed.
Like, you get bird boxed.
Like, but it's just like there's something about it that has sort of found its way into.
It's strange though. Culture. Like I wasn't. I know we're obviously going to discuss the film, but I wasn't as like blown away by it and I don't think the premise is like. I mean, it's a cool premise, but I don't think it's like so out there that it's.
No, and I don't think it adapts particularly well.
No,
I've got a fair few issues with the film. Like, it's not a perfect film, but like, so the reviews pretty much match that. So Rotten Tomatoes is 65%, IMDb is 6.8 out of 10. So it's not amazing. The critic consensus on Rotten Tomatoes is Bird Box never quite reaches its intriguing potential, but strong acting and an effectively chilly mood offer intermittently creepy compensation. And it's like there's a lot of good stuff in it, and I don't think. Because when it describes the monsters in the book, it's completely in your mind, and he describes the way things sound, and it works so well. But when you see leaves blowing around, and you have this whispering thing of like Mallory, there's something so cheesy about that just isn't scary to me.
Yeah,
like
I didn't find it particularly scary, and I kind of half expected there to be some sort of major twist. That kind of revealed this external force to be something completely different. I don't know. I kind of expected that. it was a weird sort of combination of things for me. It reminded me of a combination between, I guess, A Quiet Place, yes, because of the sensory deprivation thing.
Yeah.
It reminded me of The Happening.
Yeah.
Because of the suicidal stuff. It reminded me of It Comes at Night as well.
Not seen that one.
Obviously where the threat is kind of unseen.
Yeah.
And you kind of, it was very similar to that, especially in terms of vibe, in terms of like family and, trying to protect.
Locked away in a house.
Yeah. It was very, very similar. I didn't expect this film to have as big a cast as it did either. I kind of thought it was Sandra Bullock and 2 children, and that was kind of it. Maybe a few flashbacks, but it's quite an extensive cast. A weird cast with like B.D. Wong from like Jurassic World and what's his name, Machine Gun Kelly was randomly in it.
I don't know who that is. I saw someone mentioning him as if he was
heavily tattooed, skinny, tall dude, the one who had beef with Eminem recently. Just randomly turns up in it, like for pretty much no reason. Yeah. I did one of the best tweets I saw about this. I don't know if you saw it. It was a picture of Sandra Bullock, and somebody had tweeted, "The lady from Bird Box looks like Michael Jackson," and everyone was just going, "Sandra Bullock has not had a career spanning like 30 years or however long to suddenly just be called the lady from Bird Box."
Yeah, I saw that, but she does look a bit like
Check
Michael Jackson in this one. Like, there's something about. I think they may have put too much like powder on her face or something. I don't know. There's something like unnatural about the look.
Come on then, let's put some bloody powder on your face.
But it's good. I mean, okay, so the basic concept is there's these creatures out there, and if you look at them, there's in the book Henry describes them as so not horrific, not like the idea of them is so. It just sends you back. It's a little crafting idea of like you can't understand it, you can't contemplate it because there's something like it's the nature of infinity. If you think about it, you will lose your mind. But in this, they kind of made them out to be demon. There's like some mention about being demons or like angels or something.
Well, they show like your worst fear. They manifest themselves as your worst fear.
Boggarts or whatever they're called from Harry Potter. Is that what they're called? Fibbity gibbets or something. I think they're boggarts. But I don't know. There's something about. I told Kat, look, you need to see the monsters. Like, you just need to have some sort of snippet of like them. Like, you don't have to see all of them, but like just not seeing them, just seeing leaves blowing around and having like some wind and some whispering. I don't know. It just doesn't work. Like, I just feel like it's a missed opportunity.
I'll tell you what's a perfect example of seeing something and the way it should be revealed. Obviously, again, minor spoilers for Bandersnatch, but when a certain thing appeared in Bandersnatch out of nowhere and just like comes at the screen. I mean, it happened a few times. I was literally like, shit, what is that?
Yeah.
If that happened a couple of times, we just saw what some of these characters saw. Just a brief flash.
But they do show you there's a bit where they show you the drawings. This crazy guy has made some drawings.
Yeah.
And it's like they're all kind of different, and they all kind of look like when you're in science and you look across and someone's doodling on the exercise book, and you think, like, I don't know, they don't look scary to me. It's just like deviant art, like
maybe he's just a shit artist. This guy,
maybe, yeah.
It's just like deviant. Basically, that's what it is.
Yeah.
The monster is just various pages of deviant art come to life. Usually ones which are like weird, sexy stuff.
It's weird because I feel like we could do an edit of the film where we show what they're looking at before they go crazy.
Yeah,
so you could just show Sarah Paulson in the car, and then you cut to a scene of someone on DeviantArt.com.
Yeah.
And then her eyes glaze, and she.
Yeah. or just like those are random things, like she's looking and there's Mr. Blobby in the road, and she's like, "Fuck!"
Yeah.
Mr. Blobby's pretty scary.
Yeah.
He's off his head.
He had a good song though. Mr. Blobby, oh Mr. Blobby.
Debatable.
Is that right? I don't know.
That is pretty much right. Yeah, okay. But. Well done for remembering.
Yeah,
shall I just do a brief explanation of this film for anyone who has not seen it?
Yeah.
Which obviously, if you've not seen it, there are going to be spoilers for this film throughout.
For all those people with blindfolds on, watching it wrong.
Watching it wrong. We may have done it. We may have spoiled it already. So I'm sorry about that.
I'll put it in the title.
Yeah. Yeah. So Bird Box, a 2018 post-apocalyptic drama thriller directed by Susanne Bier. Based on the 2014 novel of the same name. The film follows a woman played by Sandra Bullock who, along with a pair of children dubbed Boy and Girl, thoughtful, must make it through a forest and a river blindfolded to avoid supernatural entities, which cause people to see that who cause people who see them to die by suicide.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who we got? We got Sandra Bullock playing Mallory. In the book, she's 20 years old. In the film, she's Michael Jackson. We got Trevante Rhodes, who I know as the gay gangster from Moonlight.
The gay gangster. He's also in The Predator.
Also in The Predator as a gay gangster. We've got John Malkovich is the Trump voter.
Yep. The Trump voter / cynical man who's probably quite right about a lot of things.
Yeah, you shouldn't open the door. Sarah Paulson, taking a break from American Horror Story, and she's like, I'm going to do a film. She plays a sister.
A sister, she does.
Yeah. Who else we got? Rosa.
And we got like character actors making up like a big part of the rest of the supporting cast. So we've got like Jacki Weaver, who I think is Australian, but she's in a load of shit. Lil Rel Howery, who is in Get Out, as like the best friend dude.
He's like a novelist in this, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, he's like
post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, but he works in a supermarket, doesn't he? Just loves conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
BD Wong, who is in like Jurassic Park and stuff. He's pretty good.
Rosa Salazar, who plays Alita, Battle Angel Alita, in that film that's coming out.
Oh, right. Is she in? Oh, it's her, is it? Oh,
you'd never know.
No, you'd never know. And a Machine Gun Kelly, which is probably the most pointless casting
who, if you didn't know,
of all time.
Is a rapper who's got beef with Eminem, which I just know because I'm cultured. But yeah.
Me too, mate.
Okay, so we start off with Mallory telling her kids, put these blindfolds on. Boy, girl, put the blindfolds on. Because if you take them off, you're going to die. We're going to go on a boat little trip, pedalos in the river. We're going to go and we're going to go somewhere.
Yeah. Basically, these kids are really young. So it's almost like whatever you tell them, are they going to listen? I know she's like put proper drumming into them where she's like, if you take it off, you'll die. If you don't listen to what I say, you'll die. All this stuff. But they're really young, these kids.
Yeah. And I don't know why you just call them boy and girl. Because that's just as much effort as calling them Tom and Dick. Not Tom and Dick, Tom and Jane or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
it's trying to, I don't know how it's explained in the book, but I kind of got it to a point where her number one goal is survival. Yeah. And almost by giving them names, she's almost becoming a little bit too
attached to them.
Too attached to them.
Yeah.
When really, if her number one goal is survival, she needs to be able to just like fuck them off at literally any moment.
Her number one goal is survival for her? Do you mean?
Well, it seems like it, isn't it? Otherwise, if it was survival for the kids as well, surely she would have given them names.
Yeah, but why didn't they get them to call her mother? Woman, lass. Like, why did they call her Mallory? Yeah, you call me by my real name, but you guys, you don't get that.
My name is Mallory.
You're one and you're two.
1 and 2.
But so then we kind of cut back. And we have Mallory, she's pregnant with an unknown number of kids in her belly. Her sister, Sarah Paulson, takes her to the midwife. They're going to have a check under the hood, make sure it's all appropriate.
Ship shape.
Yeah, you've got a couple of kids, just one kid actually in there. And then on the way home, after seeing the nurse, the shit hits the fan. People just suddenly start killing themselves and they don't know why. Their eyes go like, what would you call it, like fractals in their eyes or something. Yeah,
their eyes just go messed up, like they've got pink eye.
Yeah.
Someone starts smashing their head into a window where people are just like going ape shit.
Yeah.
There was a news story like earlier where Mallory sort of sees, there were mass suicides in Russia or some other shit. I mean, it's all going down. So then the carnage happens.
There's one bit that did kind of not freak me out, but I did think that visually it's kind of haunting. Was where there's a woman, and then she thinks she's talking to someone, and then like she gets in there's a car on fire, and she just climbs inside as if
climbs in it and sits down. Yeah,
that's pretty horrific imagery.
That's pretty brutal, but at the same time, you're like, you stupid bitch.
Yeah. Did no one ever tell you not to sit in cars that are on fire?
If a car's on fire, don't sit in the passenger seat.
Yeah, they don't put that on.
Bloody warm in here.
Health and safety in it. They're gonna have to put a sign on cars now. Don't sit in if on fire.
If on fire, get out. If full of water, get out.
Yeah.
If crushed to the side of a tin can, get out of it if you can.
Yeah. Just get out unless it's all normal, unless it's full of air. But so anyway, she crashes. Her sister Sarah Paulson, she's like knocking around in the back, like messing with the seatbelts, or she's got a can of tires that she's not told anyone about in the back.
And it's rolling around, fizzing up, and she's like devastated. She's like, "Oh no, my tizer!" I hate it when it goes flat.
Giving it a tap on the lid before she opens it. But Sarah Paulson's driving, and of course she sees someone on DeviantArt.com sees Mr. Blobby.
Sees Mr. Blobby running towards her.
But it's not him that does it. It's Noel Edmonds. He's stood further away.
Yeah.
And then her eyes go, and then she goes. What is she? I think she just turns the car off and crashes. Yeah.
Just crashes the car, but I think she just turns the wheel, and just like the car just flips, and yeah, pretty messed up. So and then Mallory and her both get out of the wreckage. Everything's sort of on fire around them. People are running. People are diving in front of vehicles. It's all going down.
Someone's giving himself a Chinese burn.
Someone's giving himself a Chinese burn. One other person is poking themselves in the eye over and over again, and they got false nails on. Horrible.
Yeah. Flicking
another one, titty twister. Yeah. Titty twister. Oh, bloody hell, that's painful, that is.
He's just got his t-shirt rolled up and he's slapping his belly really hard. It's got like pink hand marks.
Pink hand marks.
Belly.
Another person just takes it too far and steps in front of a truck, killing herself.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty good one. Yeah, that's a quick.
Yeah, everyone else is kind of like just being a bit silly with it, but she decides to just take it too far and get flattened. But Mallory sees this happen.
Yeah. And she's like, that's silly, they shouldn't be doing that. And then she finds a house and she goes inside, and it's full of people, and they lock themselves in at the last minute. Trevante, I think, is the person. He knows that if you look at something, whatever it is out there, then you'll die. Right?
Yeah.
He's the one who knows. So they close the door. There's about 10 of them inside this house, maybe less. They close all the blinds. I don't know, to turn everything off.
Yeah, it's a real ragtag group of people. You're like, I wonder how they came together. Everyone just came up and knocked on the door.
It's like someone walked in and said, I'm doing an equal ops. Oh, no, you're good. you're all accounted for. Yeah.
Yep, cool, nice one.
Gay,
guys.
Gay Asian, gangster, white gangster.
Yep. Gay Asian, white gangster, Trump voter.
Trump voter.
Yep. Latina.
Yeah. Mallory.
Pregnant woman.
2 pregnant women.
2 pregnant women, one of which is overweight or just pregnant.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Anyone disabled?
I guess they're all kind of blind, aren't they, in this? So
oh yeah,
covers the bases. So they're all there, and then I think they have some arguments. What's his name? John Malkovich's character is head dickhead. He's the one that we're not supposed to like. He's head
dickhead, but at the same time, I mean, he's pretty much got it set. Where he's
just like, it's not right. Apart from like, I don't think he ever explicitly says that he voted for Trump, but it's implied.
Yeah. I think John Malkovich's face is strange these days, isn't it?
His voice is strange. He's a very strange person.
Yeah, but I don't know. Something about him, he just looks completely different now. I know he's old.
I feel like you could swap him with Christopher Walken in pretty much any role, and it would still kind of, because they're both oddball white people. You could combine the two and like Chris Walkovich.
Walkovich.
Because they've got the odd voices, they're kind of odd people, and they fit that wild card sort of card.
They're the kind of people when they turn up in a film. When they turn up in a film, I sit up and take notice a little bit. I go, oh hello. What are you doing this?
Yeah.
Maybe that's because I haven't seen many films where John Malkovich has a bad role in it. I'm sure there are plenty. I'm sure there are absolutely loads.
Cyrus the Virus he pretty much nailed it. He nailed it as John Malkovich and being John Malkovich.
Yeah, of course he did, yeah. So I think Cyrus the Virus is a banging character.
You could say he was born for that role. Yeah, well, Cyrus the Virus as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot, I don't know what happened this way. There's a lot of people are sort of confused and angry. The writer guy, what's his name again? He said, I've been writing a post-apocalyptic novel.
Charlie, I think his name is.
Charlie.
He seems to think it's like demons, doesn't he?
Yeah. The gay Asian guy. Sorry, I forgot his name. Just have to give everyone like
Gaysian.
The gay Asian guy. he had the plan that he's going to watch the security footage, and he nothing should happen to him because he's not seeing it in real time with his real eyes. But they tie him up, they all go downstairs, and then he watches it for a little bit, but then he just starts bashing his head against the floor or something.
Yeah, why does he want to look at the demon again? Just to have a look at, see what it is?
I think just to see if it works, then they could like take a camera and sort of hide their faces and use that instead to get around. There's a big... Go on.
What I don't understand... one bit I don't kind of understand is that if you don't look at it, can it not hurt you in any way?
Yeah.
It can't hurt you at all?
No, I don't think so.
It can't?
No.
It's fucking easy, isn't it? This is easy. This is one film I'd be alright in.
It's weird because it's like, just don't look. I mean, they did add the thing in this film where it's like, oh, there's crazy people, and they try and make you look.
Yeah. So was that in the book?
No.
No crazy people in the book. Okay. They try and made you look.
But I mean, I don't know. Even if we're in blindfolds, no one like doesn't look down through the thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Cheating.
And also, when you got a really thin blindfold, like a silky scarf, and you can kind of see half through it. Does that count?
Yeah, I don't know. So there's a thing in the book as well, which they didn't do this. I can see why, but it works really well in the book where they have guide dogs. They have these guide dogs, and they go to the corner shop, the supermarket, which they do in this book without the dogs.
Corner shop.
And they're taking these dogs, and they don't know how dogs will react to it. But then, as you can't see anything, they let go of one of the dogs, and they hear the dog like going crazy, and the way Josh Malerman describes the mouth opening too far, and it's more like horrific in that sense of like it makes you feel like there's body horror happening. There's like changes in biology and stuff.
You can hear it, and you can probably smell it, but
exactly, but yes, I don't know, something about so the film adds a whole zombie sort of thing as well. So they all go to the supermarket in a blacked out car, pimped out ride, and then they get to the supermarket.
Why do so many of them go as well? It's one of those things where it's like, right, we're 3 of us going to go to the supermarket, and we're going to go like 8 of us.
Yeah, all of us. Yeah, well, everyone wants to get out of the house, I guess. Probably stinks a bit. So they get to the supermarket, and they hear a guy in the back, and one of them says, "How is he still alive? It's been however long." So I think, so is there a zombie sort of thing element to this as well?
Well, you guess this guy's like in a supermarket, right? So,
but he's in the yeah, I guess maybe he's got like in the warehouse bit of it or something. I don't know.
Maybe he's eating some chicken nuggets back there.
Eating some crackers. You can only eat like 1 or 2 without a drink, and then that's why he's hungry.
Yeah, he's fuming.
Yeah,
he's just like, bloody Jacob's cream crackers.
Why do they call them cream crackers? They're like not creamy.
I mean, that's a question for another day, I think. Yeah, but this stuff when they're driving to the supermarket with like the GPS, like the proximity sensors and the GPS, like it feels a bit silly, doesn't it? You're like, there's literally cars everywhere.
Yeah. And
they get there, pretty easily. And I think the way that they're trying to build up the tension here, where like the sensors are going off all around them, and there's someone on top of the car, and then this and that, and then suddenly someone wants to get out of the car. Oh, fuck this, I'm getting out of the car.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just find it a bit forced.
Again, in this, I hate saying this all the time, but in the book, they do that a lot better. Like they explain how slow they're going and he's nudging it forward, sort of thing. But I don't know. What can you do? They get to the supermarket, and then there's a guy knocking in the back. He's got a mouthful of crackers, and then he go, "How is he still alive?" And then they open the door, and he's like saying, "Oh, you should see. I want you to see." Yeah. He's a crazy person who wants people to open their eyes to look at the thing. But then I think that doesn't really add up to what they say later in the film, where they say the people can see if they're already crazy. This was just a stock boy, right? Yeah. He's not already crazy. Maybe he was.
Yeah. Maybe he was, yeah. Just a stock boy. I don't know. I don't know if they mean everyone who's already crazy. I think like it just affects some people differently. I know so there were some people from like a mental hospital who got away, who escaped, and they ended up turning into these weird sort of weird guys.
Yeah.
But some other people it kind of just affects in a different way, because there was like that the English dude as well.
Yeah.
Maybe their brains are just wired a little bit differently, so when they see it, they're kind of a bit like, "Oh, that's interesting."
The novelist guy saves the day by running into his mate, the stock boy, and the cracker.
Yeah.
And then he dies. There's a bit like later on, like because I had to watch this two goes because I watched it way too late one night and drifted off around here. And then when I woke up, Rosa Salazar and the white rapper were gone, and I thought, oh man, I must have missed some tasty death action. So I watched it again, and they're just not there one day.
It just says that they just took the car and got the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Which you kind of think maybe they'll turn up again later, but they don't.
No.
It's literally like they just ran out of time. They ran out of anything for them to do, and they just went, look, guys, I don't want to keep you around on set anymore. I know you got beef with Eminem, and you got things on as well, love.
Yeah.
Just go home, and we'll just... That is how somebody gets written out of a soap when they die in real life. They took the car and just left.
It happened to Danny Masterton in The Ranch. You know, the guy from that 70s show who plays Hyde, because he got some rape charges or something, some accusations. Okay. And then the next episode, he was like, "Yeah, he's dead."
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for his family, he's dead. Oh right. Oh my God, are we gonna go to his funeral? Nah.
Dead.
He's dead.
And then what's his name? Charlie. From Two Guys and Two
Guys, One Cup.
2.5 guys.
2.5 blokes. Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen. They did that with him as well, right? Because he said he wrote the... I don't know, something happened. I think he did a Joe Tribbiani. He said he wrote the scenes or something, improvised them, and the writers wrote him off as some death thing.
They just went, see you later. Yeah. Charlie Sheen. But he's got tiger blood, and he's dead.
But yeah, so they just disappear. And then I watched this twice, and I didn't get any satisfaction. But then, so it ticks along, and a new guy turns up, who's the English guy. He's from In the Loop. If you ever watched that film. Yeah,
he is from In the Loop, isn't he? Yeah, so he's a sort of like a character actor who appears in comedy. We probably should explain that at the same time as this storyline is going on, there's also a parallel storyline which is like 5 years in the future, which is where Mallory is trying to get these kids somewhere, and they're like on a river, and they're in a forest and shit. I don't know. I could have done with a film of just that. To be fair,
I think that would be more interesting, but I also don't know what would happen, like what you could have happen.
What was it like in the book? Was it like just one?
No, it's pretty much the same as this. So it cut back and forth in very much the same way.
Yeah.
And like in the present day stuff, they did the same thing. There was a guy in the river that was trying to tell her it was okay now that she could take a blindfold off. But then you don't see that. Whereas in this, you see a guy, and it's like, oh, okay, so there is a guy. But in the book, it's completely left open, so they don't know who that voice belongs to. They don't. So it could have been the well, we say creatures, but I mean we pretty much don't know. Yeah. What they are. Entities, the guffs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's doing quite well. They're going down the river. Guy from In the Loop turns up, and he is. So he says, "Oh yeah, so I was in a mental institution. I'm not the crazy one. Everyone else was, and they all saw the thing, and it didn't affect them. So they were trying to get me to look. So then you've got like a threat, and they say they're going to come, they're going to get me. But then in the book, okay, so he wasn't crazy. He was just nihilistic. He was like to the point where doesn't matter, just get it over with, sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, this is one where John Malkovich is like, he's a nutter. We're not having him in there, and everyone kind of turns on John Malkovich, locks him in the garage, mugs him right off. Yeah. And then obviously as time progresses, we realise that this guy was a nutter after all, and he just starts ripping paper off the bloody windows.
Yeah.
And he's like
the mind of a toddler.
Everybody's got to go and have a look. And at the same time, there is we forgot to say this, but there is another character called Olympia who is
also pregnant.
Who goes into labor, who's also pregnant, and she goes into labor around about this time. Yeah. So Mallory is obviously helping her give birth, because the old pregos have joined forces essentially. They're best mates, best buds. But while the birth is happening, this guy's walking around, basically fucking everyone up and making them look at the
Yeah.
horrible shit outside.
Yeah. So it all comes to a head when they both go into labour at the same time. They've synchronised births.
Do they do synchronised labour, is it? Yeah, they do synchronised labour, don't they? What's all that about?
Does that
happen? Yeah. That doesn't make sense. It's not like when women have a period and they live in the same house as each other and they kind of sync. That happens. It's not the same though with having a baby, unless this is like the ultimate coincidence. Like she's gone, oh, my waters are just broken. She's gone, oh my god, me too. High five.
Yeah, they're not like periods. That's not how it works. But
exactly. Well, who's to say, Luke? I mean, me and you might not be as well versed in womanhood as we think we are.
Yeah. I'm going to Google it, and then I'll be versed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. So, as they're giving birth, Crazy Man suddenly loses it, and what does he do? So he knocks out Trevante with a can of tuna, and he goes upstairs, and then he's like saying, "Can I look at your baby? She's very nice." And then he does look at the baby, and then he starts taking down signs. Taking down wallpaper and stuff.
Yeah,
so redecorating the whole house.
Letting everybody look and then grabbing people's face. Yeah, he's just changing rooms. I think that's Ground Force. I think that's the tune to Ground Force. Got mixed up then.
Yeah.
So then he forces Olympia to look, and she's still got a baby in her hand, and she looks like she's gonna maybe do something horrible to the baby, but then Mallory gets the baby off of her, and she just runs and jumps out a window.
Her eyes crack because she sees the thing. But then Mallory starts shouting to give her the baby, and her eyes kind of suck in just a little bit. She's just trying to hold it together.
Oh.
Yeah. And then she jumps out the window. Who else? Older woman, Jacki Weaver, gets a pair of scissors and starts stabbing herself in the neck. That's not too nice.
Yeah, that's pretty horrible.
John Malkovich comes in.
What do you feel like you'd see? Like if you looked out the window and you saw what was essentially your worst nightmare that made you kill yourself?
Oh man, that's a weird question.
It's a weird question. I think I know what mine would be.
I don't know.
Mine would be that new Fantastic Four film.
Right, Fantastic.
Yeah. And they've gone, we're making a sequel to it. And it'd just be a news story of that floating in the thing, and I'd be like, ah! And Doctor Doom is like a vlogger.
Yeah.
We've reimagined Doctor Doom as a vlogger, and the Fantastic Four. One of them's a YouTuber. One of them opens toys.
Reed Richards, the social media manager.
Reed Richards, social media manager, and Susan Richards is like she's selling detox teas on Instagram.
Yeah.
No! Dead.
Ben Grimm is a professional Satsuma peeler. He can break into the hardest shell, but not his own.
That, though.
Yeah,
I like that. I'd enjoy that if he was a professional Satsuma
professional peeler. Nutcracker. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I was going to say something like flippant.
Flippant. Yeah, this is flippant.
Iron Brew. Like there's no. Cause I know they were going to get rid of Iron Brew.
They were. That nearly happened.
And then he went, no, but now the original one's called Iron Brew Super or something like that. I don't know. I'd have to give it some thought, but I think
something horrible.
It'd be something horrible. I think it'd probably be something horrible.
Something to mug you right off.
Yeah.
Well, one day you
bold. Oh no, it's happened already. Yeah.
Bold. Or one day you come online to do a horror hangout podcast and you realise the latest episode's already been uploaded, and me with a new guy called
Duke
Lee Quandor, and he's got a luscious head of hair. He's got a luscious head of hair, and his hot takes are scalding
so
hot.
Yeah.
And you start watching it, and I'm laughing more than I've ever laughed during this episode. I'm literally bawling.
Yeah, you have a little heart attack on screen. It's like camp, but like.
And you'll be like, fuck, and your eyes get and that'll be it, and you'll smash your head on that wall behind you.
My eyes, they're pixelating then.
Yeah, pixelated. Your eyes are getting pixelated.
That's a good noise. Yeah.
This is all.
It could happen.
This is all for the Bird Box sequel. Why is this film called Bird Box? Just because she got bird?
So this is glossed over. So in the book, there's a big thing about how they find birds and they put them in a box, and they realise these are like canaries in a mine. So when things are around, the birds go crazy. But I think it's also about I don't know if it's a very well thought out metaphor, but it's about them in the house, I believe. But I don't know. But this, yeah, it's kind of glossed over. Yeah, I just like to think that that's the name of the creatures, the bird boxers.
The bird boxers, yeah, got it.
Bird box. So where we get to before Lee Kwon-do reared his hair.
Is it also like? Sorry,
head.
Is it also like you remember in Ghostbusters when they say whatever you think of will basically fuck you up? Do you reckon it's like that a little bit as well? Marshmallow Man.
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, yeah.
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Yeah, whatever you think of will be your doom.
Yeah.
Empty your mind. Don't think of anything. Oh, I thought the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
That's weird because it kind of it configures straight away depending on whatever your like random thought is. But if someone says don't think of something, like I would have said marshmallow, I think that's a pretty good. If you want your evil creatures to be manifest, like embodied as anything, marshmallow is a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Like,
and he turns up, it's pretty horrible when he turns up, isn't he?
I mean, because he's giant.
Or like one singular feather.
Yeah. Just a single in the palm of your hand.
In the palm of your hand.
Just get
but
ready.
then it'll like go down the back of your throat, so then you go and it'll kill you.
Well, like it's
it'll
got
find
a life.
a way.
It looks like it's flown on the wind, but it attacks.
Or like think of something you really like Dolce de Leche, Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Like it's going to drown me, but at the same time, bloody delicious.
It tastes fantastic. Yeah, I don't know because would you rather keep the bad thing bad then? Because you're just going to ruin your memory of Dolce de Leche.
You're going to be dead anyway, aren't you? So
I guess so.
Yeah, you're going to be dead anyway. You're going to have time to think about that. Oh, but I could murder some Dolce de Leche now, or better not. After that time, it killed me.
My mind goes to Satsumas so often. You'd think there's something wrong with me.
Your brain is like your brain is the screensaver of your brain is Satsumas.
Sometimes it looks like I'm deep in thought, and I'm just thinking about like a Satsuma.
Do you even like Satsumas?
I love them, but I don't have them very often. I used to have them a lot as a kid, and maybe there's like a smell.
Maybe if you have them more, slowly you'll
get
back to normal.
Maybe my mind's telling me, look, you should eat more Satsumas.
My mind is telling me no,
but my body's
telling me yes. Eat a Satsuma.
Yeah, okay. I need to get some Satsumas in me. Maybe it's a vitamin C deficiency. I might have scurvy.
Do you know how to know if you've got scurvy or not?
It's when you're thinking about Satsumas all the time. Yeah. That's when you've got scurvy.
Yeah.
That's what the doctor said. The general practitioner.
Where were we?
So
Mallory saves the babies, doesn't she? She goes like, "Oh, babies," but then pretty much everyone else is dead except for Mallory, and what's his name? Trevante. What's his name in this?
Tom.
Mallory and Tom, they survive. The two little newborn babies survive, and then we go to 5 years later, which is like where the new storyline is set, but a little bit before that, just so we can sort of get our act together there.
Yeah.
So they're living in a house with the children. Mallory calls these kids boy and girl, and they hear like a transmission from some survivor who's saying, "Everything's okay. We've got a lovely community downriver.
Yeah.
Come." But you'd be like, this is the thing in these post-apocalyptic scenarios, right?
Yeah.
Outsiders are always bastards.
Always.
You would never, ever, ever put out a broadcast to say any old twat come and live with us. You just buckle. If you find somewhere nice,
don't open the door. Don't let anyone in. Don't.
You'd learn your lesson in 5 years. Maybe in the first 3 months you could understand. People are ignorant to this stuff. They're still trying to be human and do the right thing. 5 years later, people are just going to be like, "What's that? There's a 6-year-old kid out there. Tell him to fuck off."
Yeah. Or they'll be like, "I'm going to eat it."
I want to eat it, yeah.
I want to eat that. I think give anywhere 5 years time and it's Mad Max. Like, it doesn't take long to get to Mad Max.
No. And I think I'd enjoy that. I'd let that happen sooner.
I don't think
a few weeks in, I'll be like, right, that's it.
No.
There's no going back now. There's no going back. I'm going full Mad Max. I'm getting Tina Turner.
Like, you see like a Reddit post about how the global warming is going to affect the world. 2 hours later, you're spray painting your mouth and saying, "Witness me."
Yeah, and exactly.
It's not. You've got
witness me. I'm getting a quad bike and I'm just putting massive sheets of metal on the side of it. What are you doing out there?
Yeah, we get another heat wave and you're you haven't turned up to work today because you're, I don't know, setting up defences at the house.
I'm putting C4 all around my house and putting mines in the front garden. Postman's dead.
Yeah, you've put his severed head on a stick in the front garden.
Yeah. And laid all his letters out in the front lawn.
Yeah.
Just to say, this is what happened to you. If you come anywhere near my place.
There's a kid eating a Solero outside, screaming their head off.
Yeah. Royal Mail van's on fire.
I'll tell you what I do in a global warming Mad Max world. I would get so many 10p ice pops. I pretty much did this in the heat wave last time.
How would you keep them cold though? Because surely, like,
it doesn't matter. I can drink them room temperature.
you animal. What's wrong with you?
That's how I'd kill myself. I'd eat loads of those because then you get little cuts on your lips, but it tastes really good.
You were gonna say that. You'd eat 10 of them in a row, and basically your head would just fall off.
Yeah.
You want to know how I got these scars?
You know, in Hereditary, when you just hear that noise, it's me with like a thing.
Yeah.
That looks pretty dodgy. So it's like I was double dicking.
Double dicking. We've all done it. Luke.
Okay, so so they get the thing from some guy called Rick, and he's like, "Come here." But as they're about to go there, Tom Fonte, saves the day. And then they have a Pop Tarts that they find, and he's teaching Mallory to not just call you kids boy and girl. You got to treat them like actual kids. You've got to be a mother, not like a box, whatever you are.
But he's not dad to them, is he? Like, because really, she's only one of their mums.
Yeah.
And she's like the adopted mum, but he's not like, call me daddy.
Yeah.
He's like kept himself out of the scenario.
They'd be like looking at the skin, like, what?
Well, perhaps that's it. But it's 28. It's 2023 at this point. Things have moved on since then. Pretty much everyone's dead. You can call anyone your dad.
Yeah.
Skin. It doesn't matter on the skin color. Like, you call like a Satsuma your dad if you needed to.
See, Satsumas are in your head. You should probably top up on some Bit C.
Draw a face on the Satsuma. Are you my new dad?
Just one of those, the things that are always outside of used car garages, like the blowing wind thing.
Like you waving inflatable arm flailing tube, man.
Exactly, yeah. Okay,
exactly that.
So they eat some Pop Tarts, and it's Tom Vonte's last meal, so it's got to be a good one. Yeah. So he's enjoying it. It must be like what 5 years old or something. This Pop Tart. I don't know if Pop Tarts go off.
I don't know. We don't really have Pop Tarts in the UK, do we?
We used to more than I remember having them as a kid a lot.
Used to, eh?
But they're not really that good. They don't taste that nice. So these are Pop Tarts, and a load of these crazy people turn up, and they're like, "You should look at the thing because we've got guns and stuff. We'll shoot you."
Yeah, I mean, these guys are pretty, like, they got some nice vehicles, they got some lovely weapons, and just going around making people look. It's just like, maybe that is the way to be in this scenario. Just have a look at it. It'll mess you up a bit, but you're alive, you're well, you're chilling out.
You should join the other team. Is what you're saying?
Yeah. I reckon so.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got kids with you, it might be a bit dodgy, but.
Plus, it's not you. You're not doing anything. You're just making people look. Like, they can kill themselves. You
made you look. Have a look over there, then.
Yeah.
You never guess what.
I would do that thing where you put your finger on their chest, and then they go like, "What's that?" And you go,
"Oh my god!"
You point to the
you point out there.
Made you look.
The finger on the chest thing. I do that. I do that way too often. I reckon people must hate me because I do it. I reckon I do it every day to someone. Oh, you got a bit of gravy or something there. I'm like, I think it's mainly because I do it to children who are related to me, not to random children. And I do that so much that it's become ingrained in my personality now.
Okay, yeah.
That like now I just do it to anyone and everyone, and I love it because everyone falls for it.
Yeah. I would fall for it. I wouldn't expect someone 30
no, exactly, you wouldn't.
years old to do it.
And I usually do it when someone has just eaten something or is eating something. Eating a jam donut, I'll be like, "Oh my god, you got jam all down your top."
Yeah, that's a good tactic.
Have I?
Do you mean
so I'd be really good as one of these guys.
That sounds like the noise that, like in a Ren and Stimpy cartoon, where they pluck a hair.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll be really good as one of these evil infected survivors.
Yeah. You got some gravy up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Mallory and the kids get away.
Yeah.
But then Tom goes down I think he like takes a few of them out.
He takes them all out.
But I think doesn't he get like a...
We has to take his blindfold off to shoot, right. I think. So he kind of sacrifices himself. And he sees the thing. He looks good with blue eyes, I've got to say. But his eyes turn blue. And then he blows his head off.
He blows his bloody head off.
So Mallory then, she takes the kids, boy and girl, further down the river. They crash. And then I think they're not too far from Rick's house.
Yeah.
But then you get one of those annoying things where she's lost, but she can hear voices in her head, and there's a lot of wind and stuff, and it's just like she has to overcome the voices in her head. I don't know, it doesn't really work for me.
She has to overcome there's a part where they kind of like make it all about a relationship with the children, so they're a bit like, right, you need to now start treating them as your kids in order to save them.
I think there is a bit in the book where fingers pull the blind, like the creatures surrounding their boat, and she feels something pulling the blind gently away from her face. Yeah. I'm sure that happens. So there is a physicality to them.
Yeah.
That's just lost here, because it just doesn't feel like... It feels like someone's surviving a windy day. Like, it doesn't feel...
I mean, that's why it reminds me of The Happening in a way, because obviously, if you remember in The Happening, there's a famous scene in The Happening where they run from the wind. The wind is coming, let's run from the wind.
It's like hay fever. That's what I do when pollen count's high.
You just run from the wind. Yeah. So, I mean, it's very similar in that way, where it feels like the physics of the threat isn't consistent enough that you understand the rules. It kind of changes scene by scene based on how they need to be in order for the main characters to then survive.
Yeah.
So that's why it feels like an inconsistent threat, and to me, it didn't feel.
It loses the threat.
Didn't feel scary, you know. I mean, this is one thing that's been puzzling me a little bit. Is obviously this film has got a lot of positive publicity, and a lot of people have been saying this film's terrifying. People could, people can't sleep. People are like, it isn't scary. Like,
no, Kat said it was scary. She found it, but she doesn't like horror films.
I know, like the fear of the unknown can be scary. Yeah, I know that, because there's loads of stuff where the fear of the unknown like really gets to me.
Yeah.
But this, I just didn't. It didn't grab me in a way that perhaps it could have done.
Yeah.
Just a bit annoyed by it come the end.
Yeah, me too. And then they go, they find the place where they're going to, and then we find out that Rick was really Rick Grimes this whole time.
Yeah.
I've
been waiting for you.
So he's a blind guy. It's a school for the blind, and there's tons of birds, and everyone's super happy, way too happy to be living in that world.
Yeah. I mean, even if you're blind, which is perfect in this scenario, like, life's still pretty shit.
Yeah.
Because there's probably still people trying to get in and steal your stuff or kill you, and you know what I mean.
Ben, you're already, last heat wave, and you were killing postmen.
Exactly.
So you would have been right there before they even knew what was happening.
I know. It's a bit like it's one of those things. This always exists in post-apocalyptic fiction. In most books, there's always some sort of like utopia that exists.
Yeah.
That you need to get to survive and live. What was it called in The Land Before Time, where they were traveling to? Do you remember this? They were traveling to like an amazing place.
It's like an oasis or something, right?
Like an oasis, yeah. It reminds me of that. Like, everything's shit, but then there's this lovely place that exists, and everyone wants to get there. But when you get there, there's like 10 people who live there, and they're all loving it. It's like, if it's so amazing, everyone would be heading there.
Yeah.
If these guys were putting out some sort of broadcast saying, listen,
pamphlets.
we've got a perfect place to live, come there, everyone would be there.
Yeah. That's how
bad guys, good guys.
And then when everyone goes there, they ruin it.
Ruin it, yeah.
Don't tell anyone. Yeah.
They piss everywhere.
They don't clean up after themselves. They piss everywhere. Eat all the satsumas. None left.
Yep. And everyone who lives there is blind, so I mean, it's a shithole.
Yeah.
Dusty everywhere.
Do you remember that blind guy in Big Brother?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do remember that blind guy in Big Brother.
Really messy eater.
He ate.
I don't know why
he ate like a chili, didn't
he? Yeah, did he have like all over his face, like his.
I think he ate a really hot chili, and it like changed his life. Like he could. It made him see. I don't know. Like he ate it, and he was like, "Fuck!" And it's just like basically it was like Daredevil, when you can like see the just the proximity with the sound and echoes. He's just fuck.
Yeah. So he's like Popeye, like he just eats some of this stuff and he gets like superpowers. So you can see. Yeah. That was an interesting season of Big Brother. Good so that's how it ends. So I mean, it was okay. But we need to do some trivia if you're ready for it.
Oh yes. Do I need to be blindfolded during this trivia?
It's optional.
Is it visual?
No.
Is it optional. Yeah, okay. Right.
Number 1. What is Mallory's first name?
What's Mallory's first name?
Yeah.
I thought it was Mallory, but is it Michael Jackson?
It's It Bob.
What'd you say?
It Bob.
It Bob Mallory.
Doesn't really work, but
what?
when they were kids, the kids says Mallory really weird, and I thought she was saying Marley.
Marley.
Bob Marley.
Yeah, Bob Marley.
So I was trying to do something.
That was that went right over my head. Don't know about yours.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. Okay, number 2. You got that right. Number 2, when Mallory argues... Oh, yeah, so there's a point in the film where Mallory's arguing to Tom Vonse that kids, she says, when they grow up, they're never going to grow up, they're never going to have friends. Is it because they're living in a post-apoc world where children are rare, or is it because she thinks that her children are dweebs and no one likes them?
It's got to be the latter. It's got to be. Because they are kind of dweebs, aren't they?
They are. They don't even say morally right. I can't say it.
Marley.
Marley.
There's little dweebs. One of them falls in the river. I think, you idiot.
What a dork.
What a dork.
Okay, number 3. Josh Malerman wrote the rough draft of Bird Box before or after the release of the 2008 film The Happening.
Oh. Interesting. I'm going to say after.
Well, he says before. He said he wrote the first draft 16 years ago or something. When he was on tour, because he's a singer in a rock band, and they go on tour a lot. And he used to write all his novels longhand when they were driving on the tour bus.
What band is he in? Do we know?
Can't remember. I've listened to him a few times. They're all right. Kind of
High Strung.
Fuzz.
A band called The High Strung.
Yeah, like fuzz.
Got it all going on.
Fuzz rock. There's
some novels, novellas, and a load of short stories.
There's a really good documentary about Josh Malerman. It's like a homemade sort of YouTube thing, but it's really. He seems like a really cool guy generally, and it is cool to see his work get out there to like a much bigger audience, because it does feel like he should be. Like he's a bit of a rock star.
Yeah.
In the horror scene. Okay. Number 4. Sandra Bullock claimed that she was actually blindfolded, for how much of the shooting schedule?
Well, I'm going to say like 50%, because obviously in some of the films she's not. I know she was actually blindfolded. I heard for like the entirety of like the shooting the blindfolded scenes.
Yeah.
I think I read that somewhere, that she wouldn't take the blindfold off, and I think the director was like, for fuck's sake.
I'm over here.
Yeah.
But
so right. Everyone on their markers. Sandra.
Where's Sandra?
I don't know. 50%. Yeah, 50%.
She's there reading her lines down by the toilets. 50%. Yeah, it's true. So it was just the one eye. There was a deleted scene where we got the monster. Yes, there was a deleted scene where they actually showed the monster. True or false?
I think that's true. I think I read that as well, but they said it was kind of ridiculous, and I don't think it tested very well with, like, I guess, test audiences or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. So Sandra Bullock described it as a green man with a horrific baby face, and she said, "We'll shoot the scene," and the guy turned to growl at her, and she couldn't stop laughing. She said it just looked like a long, fat baby.
Poor guy. The guy who's playing it, like, they painted him green. He went, "This guy looks like a long fat baby."
Yeah.
It's like, it's just me, but I'm green. Like, give me a break. You're some sort of long fat baby man.
Yeah. But yeah, man. So you did well there. Well done. But now it's time to rate the film.
It's
time to play.
I'm proper lukewarm on this. It's one of those where I think after I watched it, I was a bit like, yeah, that was all right. But then, as I've given it more thought, I do kind of feel a bit like, nah. And it's kind of annoying me, sort of to the extent that it's being. I mean, I'm sure the book's great, but I mean, the film, the extent that people are sort of loving it, is really getting it into mainstream culture.
Yeah.
And people are referring to it everything, and I think it's kind of like an all right thriller with a kind of okay premise. But if this film came out 10 years ago, then, before that happening,
then
it'd be really unique. But the fact that we've had that, and then A Quiet Place, and then even like It Comes at Night, they all feel very similar. I mean, so I'll go for a C+, I think.
This film's got a couple of big problems in the fact that I can't watch it and not compare it to the book, and also I can't can't watch it and not compare it to A Quiet Place. And A Quiet Place was a really tense, well-directed film. Like, there's like loads of little things like that in that film where I think like the nail on the stairs, the pregnancy, also the pregnancy scene where she's like hiding from the thing, and she's like giving birth in the bath. This film just never ever felt particularly tense to me. Like it felt very
there was
like soft TV, TV horror.
As I think I mentioned before, because the threat was so inconsistent.
Yeah.
I always thought they'll get out of this somehow. I never thought, God, who's going to die next? Oh, how are they going to go? Who are we going to lose next? It was kind of a bit like, eh.
And also, people did actually just disappear. Like, and it just became a bit of a, what are you going to do? We'll lose a couple. Yeah, so, I don't know. I feel bad. I wish it was better than... I wish I enjoyed it more than I did. But I give it a C in the end.
Yeah, C. Yeah. So so I'm going C+ and going more than you.
Yeah.
I'll go for a C as well then.
Okay.
I don't know more than you. I don't think I liked it more than you.
I don't know. I give it a C. Because they weren't allowed to in this film to see. But good. It works on multiple levels. But next week we're going to jump into the list, the new list. I think it's 98 on the list that we're jumping straight to. Yep.
So I think we'll start linking the list so people can check out the films we're going to do. We'll probably put that in like the Facebook group or something soon. Yeah. So after that, and I think we're going to watch Suspiria this month as well.
It's out in a week or two, I think.
It's out in a week or two, so as soon as we get the chance to see that, because that's one of the big ones I missed from 2018.
It's a long one, apparently like 2.5 hours.
Oh.
No. It should be good though. Man. That's about all we've got time for today. Hope you enjoyed your podcasting experience today.
What, me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, always.
Good. This show is brought to you by me and Ben and Hawk and Cleaver. Head over to hawkandcleaver.com. Become a patron over at patreon.com/Hawk and Cleaver. Thanks to Kovacs Cowman for our theme music. Thanks to Acast for hosting the show. If you enjoyed the show, give us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes, and remember to hit subscribe. Thanks to my co-host Ben for being a right or a dude.
Thanks so much, Luke. It's been an absolute pleasure. You're
very welcome. Right, that's in a bit.
All the best now.
Bye.